I got a bloody big book haul for you guys today, so get settled, pour a glass of wine, so I'm about to get started. Oh, the kookaburras are singing. Can you hear them? That happens every bloody morning at 5 AM, right outside my bedroom window. I have been receiving so many awesome books from the publishers lately. The first book is one that I am so excited for. I received it from Paddy in Australia, and that's Give Me Your Hand by Megan Abbott. This is a book about a girl called Kit who meets Diane in chemistry class. Kit was never really that ambitious and driven, but Diane made her that way, and their shared ambitions made them inseparable. But then one day Diane says, or she tells Kit something that just blows apart their friendship. Years later, because of Diane's influence, Kit has almost reached the brink of her biggest success. She is doing so well in life. As she's about to achieve something she's always wanted, it comes out that Diane knows something about Kit that no one else knows, and it could potentially destroy all of her hopes and dreams. So how far will Kit go to keep this secret hidden? I have never read anything by Megan Abbott before, but I have heard really good things, and Paula Hawkins, who wrote The Girl on the Train, says on the front, Megan Abbott at her best, cool, crisp and chilling. Erin Kelly, who wrote He Said, She Said, one of my favourite books of 2018, said, so good. A tense, pitch-perfect thriller, like a darkened version of The Secret History. So I am very excited for this one. The next book is another one from Paddy in Australia, and that is A Lonely Girl by Lynne, Vincent, McCarthy. This one sounds incredible. It's set in Tasmania, which is a place so close to where I live, and I cannot wait to go there. It's about a girl called Anna who decides that she is going to end things. She really believes that no one would miss her. She doesn't even think her faithful dog River would miss her, so she's just basically counting the days until she ends everything. But then, the day that she is going to end her life, I think she listens to the news or something. The body of a local woman called Rebecca is discovered. This gives Anna a new drive and force to live, because not only was Anna the last person to see Rebecca alive, she also believes she knows who the killer is, but instead of going to the police, she decides to save him for herself. So it sounds pretty intense, and I am very excited for it. I love reading more books set in Australia and Tasmania and places closer to home, you know, I think reading locally is just so important and really fun. I've read such amazing Australian books lately. Speaking of local Australian books, the next one is Scrublands by Chris Hammer. This one was sent to me by Alan and Unwin, and I am actually meeting Chris Hammer at his book signing and book event early in August, so that's really, really exciting. I can't wait. I haven't read the book yet, but I'm super excited to. As some of you might know, a lot of Australia, we don't really have the big things like earthquakes or tsunamis, but one thing we really suffer badly from is droughts. So this book is set in a small country town where the drought has basically just brought the town to its knees. Then a young and charismatic priest opens fire on his congregation before being shot dead himself. He kills about 5 people. 1 year later, a journalist comes to town to just do an anniversary write-up about the shooting and what happened. But when he arrives, all this new information that he wasn't aware of comes to light, and he starts to realize that things are just not adding up. So he has to start wondering what was the real reasons for the priest's deadly rampage. This whole thing becomes like the biggest story in Australia, and media just floods this small town, as they do. But then in a very strange turn of events, the journalist's reasons for investigating this case suddenly become very personal, and I don't know why yet, but that is extremely intriguing to me. He's obviously got some kind of close connection to this case. There is something or someone that is desperate to keep these secrets buried, and how far are they going to go to keep them buried while this journalist is in town trying to unearth everything? Sounds awesome, and I am ridiculously excited to meet this guy. I love meeting authors and getting my book signed. I'm like a proper little fangirl, but there you go. The next book is another one from Alan and Unwin, and that is Conan Doyle for the Defendant by Margalit, and I love this cover. I think it's the only hardback book I own, so obviously I'm thrilled. I love hardbacks. I prefer reading paperbacks, but oh, there's nothing like a good hardback to just touch. feel that sounds so wrong, doesn't it? On the 21st of December 1908, Marion Gilchrist, an 82-year-old wealthy spinster, was found bludgeoned to death in her home in Glasgow. There were very few clues, no signs of forced entry, but the only thing that was amiss was a diamond brooch that was missing. I don't know how, but a guy was sentenced to serve time for her death, and after 16 years, in 1925, a convict called William Gordon was released from prison. Hidden in his mouth was a waterproof message from this guy that's been away for this case, which I think is just remarkable. I mean, how desperate was this guy to make contact? I think he was convicted because of he had a brooch or a brooch, whatever, that was very similar to Marion's one, and so he got convicted for this murder, but I don't think it was actually her brooch. In this message, he's basically begging for help from the one person he thinks that can help his case, called Arthur Conan Doyle. I'm fairly certain a lot of true crime fans would know that name by now. This book is an example of one of the greatest miscarriages of justice in British history, and it is Arthur Conan Doyle's account from extensive archival sources, so it sounds fabulous, and I am very, very excited to read this.
Give me all of the true crime, please.
The next book is one from Pan Macmillan, and it is very different from my normal type of read, but there's a few more historical books that I have been really interested to get into. The Song of Achilles, and what's the latest one, Circe? Yeah, a few others. I've been reading a bit of Outlander and stuff. I got to like book 3 or 4, and then I was like, oh, I don't know, it's just going downhill. But this one actually sounds pretty damn good, and it's called The Honourable Thief by Megan Wilson Anastasios. This is a book about a guy called Benedict Hitchens, and he was once a renowned archaeologist. He's now a discredited but still very charming man. He has this massive determination to prove that Achilles was a real historical figure. This belief of his eventually made him find his way to his greatest love, Karina, but also to his greatest downfall, where a stranger disappears called Eris. This book follows his last chance at restoring his reputation, solving the disappearance of Eris, and proving once and for all that Achilles was a real historical figure. The only problem is, this could have massive consequences, and by that I mean fatal. So yeah, it sounds extremely different. I mean, it looks absolutely stunning. I love this old cracked look, and oh, just the beige and the gold. I love it. So yeah, very different, and I am looking forward to getting into it. The next book was actually given to me by a friend of mine who's recently self-published, and his name is John Alex Clarke. He's just released his new book called Adventures in Happiness, and guys, this guy, I wish I could live like him. He just is so free-spirited. At the age of 37, I think, he just dropped his life, quit his full-time, very successful job, and decided to just travel. And that's incredible. So this book takes you on his journey as like when he traveled in a camper van across Europe and Morocco, through South Africa, which is where I met him. I was firefighting and doing some stuff to work on the boats, and you know, I saw him in the backpackers I was staying in, and yeah, he actually spoke more to my mum than to me, but yeah, we have since remained very friendly and stuff because we're both writers, and I just think that this book is going to be an absolutely wonderful recount of his adventures, and I just hope he continues it so I can live vicariously through him. The next book was given to me by Penguin Books Australia, and this one is called Beyond the Break by Darren Longbottom and Tim Rushby-Smith. Darren Longbottom was born to surf. He's the son of a really well-known surfboard shaper. Darren says goodbye to his wife and baby and goes off to Indonesia for an amazing surf trip, but when he arrives and goes surfing, shit's gonna hit the fan and everything is going to go wrong. A freak accident happens, and it's going to take a lot for him to be able to recover and get home, and it sounds horrific that this could happen. I mean, have you seen some of those ginormous waves that people surf? It is ridiculous. I love surfing, but that is literally just setting yourself up for death. And it scares me, but I love surfing. I'm not very good at it, but I like it anyway. So, and whenever I read a book or watch a movie about surfing, I'm just like desperate to get back into the water and go for a paddle. So I am very excited to read this, and yeah, it's definitely going to influence me. It's like, well, I think, what is it called, like an addictive personality. Like I can watch bloody The Ice Princess, and I'll think, oh god, I've got to go ice skating, or yeah, I'm ridiculous, really. I just want to do everything because that's how easily influenced I am. Good marketing, guys. The next book is one from Allen and Unwin again, and this is called The Devil's Half Mile by Paddy Hirsch. This is apparently a historical crime thriller, and definitely one that I would not have normally picked up. But I find that when I get these books from publishers where I don't think I would ever pick them up, they've actually become some of my favourite reads, and it's just so surprising for me. So I am very excited to give it a go, and hopefully they have done me well, Allen Unwin. This is about a guy called Justy who returns home after fighting in the Irish Rebellion against the English. He is determined to find the man that murdered his father, and that takes him onto Wall Street with the fledgling stock market. But this is set in New York in 1799, so a long ass time ago. As he's investigating this case, all these horrific murders of these young slave women start to occupy his time. Justy realizes that he really can't trust anyone, as he realizes there may be a very big link between his father's death and the death of these slave women. As the conspiracy deepens, it becomes very apparent that the people responsible for this are very dead set and relentless on keeping this secret buried. Justy has to choose, is he going to risk his father's reputation and dignity to try and solve this mystery that could potentially change the landscape of America forever? Again, another historical fiction crime book, and I'm ready for it. I've just become so involved and invested in crime, and especially true crime. But yeah, like I am really wanting to also venture into historical fiction more, so this is very interesting for me, and I'm ready for it. The next book is another one from Allen and Unwin, and I must say I think this is going to be my next read because I am ridiculously excited for it, and that is A Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. This book is about someone called Geo. 5 years ago, her partner was revealed as a serial killer, got sent away, but then escaped, and then murders started to happen again that very much resembled the murders that he once did. The message is very loud and clear that this guy is coming after Geo one murder at a time. It sounds bloody creepy, and Lisa Unger, which is an author that gave me one of her books a while ago. Oh, that's a story for another day, but she's great. I really liked one of her more paranormal thriller books called Crazy Love You, Lisa Unger, so go check that one out because it's great. She says on the back, I was hooked on page 1, a smart, edgy thriller with lots of surprises. Buckle up. So I am going to do just that. Then we have Our House by Louise Candlish, and this book was sent to me by Simon & Schuster. This is a book about a woman that comes home one day only to discover that there's random people moving into her house, but her house was never for sale. So why are there people moving into it? I mean, that's just such a mindfuck. What would you do? So turns out that her husband, Bram, has made some terrible mistake. They've both hidden secrets from each other, and now they have to start realizing that there are worse things to lose in life than their house. Something is going to go very dreadfully wrong from these secrets they've been hiding from each other, and whatever this secret or, mistake was that Bram made. And I started this on audio, actually, on Audible a little while ago, and unfortunately I was just so busy at work that I couldn't get around to really listening and concentrating, so I guess it lost me a little bit and I just couldn't get into it. It didn't grip me, and I really want to give it another chance before I decide that it's not for me, because I've heard such good things about it, and I'd be really disappointed if it's a book that I don't like. So I am definitely going to be giving it another go and just investing more time in it when I have more time on my hands, which I just don't right now because I'm trying to juggle too much shit. Oh god, I can't even speak. I've only had one glass. Another book I received from Simon & Schuster is Something in the Water by Catherine Steadman. I've already read it, I loved it, and I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 star review. This is a book about a girl called Erin who goes on honeymoon with her husband, and they decide to go to Bora Bora and have an amazing time despite the financial hardships that they're facing. They decide they're just gonna have fun with this, and then they go out scuba diving. Her husband is some really great scuba diver instructor or something, and while they're off scuba diving they find something in the water that they are not supposed to stumble across, and this could be life-threatening, and you know, it was pretty awesome. I loved it. It's really suspenseful. Erin as a main character annoyed the shit out of me, but just like I just wanted to shake her and be like, fucking stop it. Like, she was just so reckless and annoying, but besides that, it was a fantastic book, and I am very much like looking forward to reading more from Catherine Steadman, who is a actress from Downton Abbey. So yep, that's this book, and I do have full reviews on it in other videos, so you can go check that out. I'm not going to ramble on about it again. Now, I had spoken about Lisa Unger a little bit earlier, and this book was a very different one for me because of its format, first and foremost. But Lisa Unger I loved her book Crazy Love You, and she's just released a new one, or she's busy releasing a new one. I've got no information about this book. I should have really googled it for you guys, I'm sorry, but I think it's going to be released soon, or it has been released, I don't know, but I got it in like a bound copy under my skin, and Karen Slaughter said gripping suspense at its best, and I literally know nothing about this. It just says, what if her nightmares were actually memories? I absolutely love this cover. I think it's absolutely stunning. And like I said, Lisa Unger, her other book just blew me away. The twist and the shocks and the turns and the suspense, I just couldn't stop. I was absolutely addicted, and yeah, I'm really excited to read something else from her and just get back into her world, because she's just amazing. So yeah, they are the books. I'm sorry I can't tell you more about this one, but go on to Goodreads and check it out. I should have done that for you, but I didn't prepare well enough. Do not unlike this video because of that, because yes, I need some likes. I keep getting 2 thumbs downs on my videos, and I'm just like, well, fuck you guys. But anyway, you guys are giving me like more traffic or whatever. Anyway, I don't really know how all this internet stuff works, but I don't really care. Like, if that's what you guys want to do, it's not going to make me cry at night, so I will talk to you guys soon. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of the books that I just mentioned, and have a good day. Bye!